Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining the Strong Woman's Network podcast. This is such a great experience, and I'm so happy that you decided to push play today. And when you push play, that means you're going to get some really, really good content and some really good information. Once again, if you have not subscribed, hit subscribe today and share it with a friend. You can also join me on Instagram at Ms. Carla Michelle. It's MSCRLA, MICHELLE. Or you can also join the Facebook group, the Strong Woman's Network. All righty, so let's get started here. I have a special guest, like always. They're all special, but this one is special too. And I have on the line Danielle Marie is here. She's a NCAA All-American, a former NCAA All-American track and field athlete. She moved to Ohio right out of school and took a position as a digital marketing manager, moved to San Diego, where she took a position as a senior account executive for digital marketing. Then she left, she took a leap, and she started a boutique social agency called The New Collective. That's right, The New Collective. Make sure you pay attention to that. She specializes in content strategy. She's in influencer marketing and digital storytelling. So guess what? Her clients have been featured in the Emmys, Teen Vogue, British Vogue, Essence, and so much more. We're going to hear about so much more. Are you there, Danielle? Danielle Marie?
Hi.
Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And look at you, and I'm sure all this great things that you've done. And so you must be at least 40 years old. And you don't have to give your age, but you've done some great things.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it's been quite a journey so far.
Oh my gosh. Well, I gave the
As you know.
blurb about you. Is there anything you want to add about yourself or
Um, yeah, I think you wrapped it up. Besides, my personality, I don't know. I'm all
yeah.
into things, just super progressive. I love mixing, what's happening now with like millennials and Gen Z, but then also going back to some of just mixing, some of the best practices like with corporate or just like kind of mixing the old with the new and making it relevant and fresh and fun.
I love it.
All about empowering other creatives and other artists and other brands. So yeah, I just love to have a good time. I love to connect. I love to do digital storytelling and, just really connect others online and offline. And I think that's what has been, just that thing that's kept me going and keeps me thriving, especially right now with this pandemic. It's just all about those connections and bringing visions to life.
Awesome. So, speaking of pandemic and speaking about where you're going, you shared with me, or I know, as you know, I know, you took a big leap. And this is a recent leap right in the middle of a pandemic. Tell me about that. Or I'll just be more specific. What drove you? Was it always there? What keeps you right now? And what do you think will sustain you for the future? And if you don't remember those three things, that's fine. Just talk.
Yes. We'll go through each part.
Okay.
Yeah. So what drove me? Well, I was working at an agency, and there is always things, intuition. There's always little things that kind of just stood out to me that made me feel like just kind of question, like, what does this agency really stand for? Um, and just, but at the time I was just like, hey, I just need to grind. I need to just make this money, pay my bills. So I'm going to just kind of keep going through. And when Black Lives Matter, with the death of George Floyd and just the whole movement uprising again, just the way that the agency failed to take action really on it,
Mm.
and just almost looking performative really, was really what just got under my skin, when some of the publicists are telling their clients, well, you're damned if you speak on it, you're damned if you don't. I didn't understand that mentality, and the fact that I had to sit down, teach them, show them what's going on, give them examples on how other companies are, you know, holding themselves, attempting to hold themselves accountable. Hopefully they really are, with doing better as far as, who are they serving? What do their clients look like? What brands are they working with? Is their influencer marketing diverse? Just sending them a lot of resources, and just they just wanted to really know what they needed to do for their clients. They weren't thinking about the company and their employees and how we're feeling. And it was such a hard time, just receiving a text message saying, oh, tell your clients don't post today. They need to post a black square and let them know what's going on. It was just really just very lacking of empathy. And my whole thing is, when we have to serve our clients, when they had to serve our clients, it's, you have to do the most for them. You could be enjoying your evening, your Thursday evening, or I remember there was a time where I was out on an evening protesting, and my phone is getting blown up about, somebody's Instagram post, or, what services are we doing? And, that's the name of the game. That's fine and dandy, but okay, when there are some social issues that we need to address and we need to stand on and we need to be clear on and we need to speak about, and we can't do that, that's where everything kind of just popped out at me and was like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. This is not okay. I think empathy, especially as creatives, I think we have to lead with empathy. When we're serving others, we got to make sure that our team is being served and heard, and that's not what was going on. And I think that was the last straw that broke the camel's back, but also something that now I take with me is leading with empathy. So when I'm connecting, with other people, that's the big thing. So before I jump ahead, so yes, that was really like the breaking point for me. But I think it was a slow build to that since, I think since probably graduating high school or in high school, college, I knew I always wanted to be in the communications industry. I thought I was going to do broadcast journalism, but more of social and digital marketing because it was fun, new, and really, it's fast paced. You can quickly create that content. So, I decided to respectfully put in my 2 weeks at the agency. I called them out on just some things that have happened. While my time being there, I dealt with racist remarks from my colleagues and from my manager, and it was just not a positive environment. But I did learn a lot. I learned how I wanted to lead. I learned how I wanted to communicate with others. I learned how I wanted to collaborate, how I wanted to creative direct, how I wanted to easier for everyone and work as a team and bring visions. Through that whole journey, there was a lot of growth, a lot of learning, growing pains, but overall it was definitely a truly big experience that I had to really understand the ins and outs of building a business and managing an agency and managing employees. So it was definitely hands-on, and I at that time, towards the end, I just felt very equipped with knowing that everything I need to be successful is within me. Really, all I needed was, a laptop in my brain and and some contacts that I made along the way, and that was about it. So, yeah, I pieced out, and I decided to start my own agency called The New Collective. And this was in the making for at least 3 years, if not longer. I always had this idea of like wanting like this agency or this, just something of my own with that was just like a creative platform. I didn't always know what I wanted to do at the time, but I I always knew I was gonna eventually get here so soon. At some points in my life, I didn't think I was able to, or I thought I had to put in years and years and years. And just realizing, like, especially if you're in the digital space and you're a millennial and you're a creative thinker and a fast thinker and you're on your feet, you can execute and you understand quality service, like, you don't have to wait that long. If you can be talented and scrappy. I heard this the other day, actually. If you can be talented and scrappy, like, you're gonna be a force to reckon with. So, and that's like, I think all of the experiences has gotten me to this point. So I think it was always in the making, but I think I had to acknowledge my power and my talent and really believe in myself and step into my power, step into my light. And that was the journey part of stepping in there. But everything else, the skills, the business savvy, I felt like it was always there. I always arose to any occasion when I needed to, or rise to any occasion. And it finally just all aligned, and like the stars, it
I
was
love
just
it.
time.
Yes. But you know what? To give you some kudos, because even though it can align, a lot of people still don't leap. They're still looking. They're still searching to see if it's the best time. And would you say there's ever the best time?
No, the best time does not exist, even though in some weird way in my mind, I feel like this is the best time for me. Um, and it's like, really? Because this is, like I said, we're in a pandemic, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is like the best time. And like, I think there's, time is time. Some may even say time does not even exist. That's
Mm.
another conversation. But with that being said, yeah, I think you just have to jump. You just have to go for it. I remember we had a conversation that really stuck out to me, and it was about fear and just the idea of, with from the book Outwitting the Devil.
Yeah.
When we were talking, and we had this conversation about like the devil, like, wants us to be scared, and it's like wants to create a living hell on earth. And that's literally what I was feeling like in life. Like, I felt like I was in a cycle. I was not happy, up and down with depression and anxiety. And I went those words, like, he wants us like this, like, and just everything started to click. Like, on the other side of fear is everything you want and more. Just taking that leap. If how are you create your own life, like, everything just really started to click. But when I heard that the devil was
Yeah.
with the fear, I was like, okay, hell no, like, it's time to go. Like, it's so bad, but like, I was like, I'm not with
The
this.
truth.
Like, I'm not gonna be scared and let him control me. And that like really gave me that fire. And I was just like, okay, it's time.
That's true. That's when it did take off. And she's referring to a book called Outwitting the Devil. I'll put it in the episode notes, but it's by
Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill. Yes. So, and it's a lost book. A lot of people lost book, but you hear more about Think and Grow Rich and things like that. But this one has such a story, such a history behind it. It's a read that I really recommend to get some really vital information. Just see how the game is played in life. So, Thank you, though. You really had some good points there. Look at that. I love it. Um,
Thank you.
so what keeps you now? I mean, you're in and I know you took the leap at the end of July. So this is fresh. What
Yes, yes,
so
super fresh.
super fresh. Still
Super
smell
fresh.
the rubber burning of getting out the other place. So
Oh,
what
yes.
keeps you? What keeps you right
Um,
now? Right
yeah,
now.
yeah. What keeps me now is just like, well, I have some amazing clients. Just so blessed. Just right timing, right place. Some of the clients I already had relationships with, and some of the other ones, it was really just sending out an email and pitching myself, and we decided to work together, and they keep me going because um my creativity and ideas and execution is all there. So I think that's what keeps me going. Joy
Mm,
keeps me going. you know each day I wake up, I'm just so excited to create, so excited to bring these visions to life, just so excited for everything. Like I said, I've been working on this for such a long time. So now I'm just like, let's get it, like doing
yeah.
this, doing that, experimenting, like anything that I, can think of, I'm like searching on or referring from, like from notes or studies that I've done in the past. So I think just like this joy and this excitement that I'm finally doing what I was meant to do. I
Mm,
love you know this act of service, but connection and storytelling and creativity and collaboration. I think it's just such a beautiful thing, and just such an amazing feeling, and just knowing that I wake up, I'm my own boss, I build these relationships, and it's all me. I'm so excited. Like now I'm waking up at like 5:30, like ready to start the day, journaling, of course, meditating first, before I get started, but just waking up with purpose.
mhm.
So just
That's
all of
good.
that good stuff, I guess, keeps me going.
Well, I remember a time where 5:30 was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
And now to hear you say 5:30 is like, "Yeah." It's like, so do you believe that really had something to do with what you were doing?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, cause yeah, like I'm like so excited, like what's going on, what are our features. Like I usually have ideas already coming to me, and then before, when I wasn't aligned with my purpose, I'm just like waking up to the same old, same old, mundane, um, and just yeah, it just wasn't anything positive to really wake up
Hmm.
to,
Yeah.
and it just made me want to stay in bed.
Yeah. And I love the change. I love it. I want to tie in something because I want to bridge from what drove you into what now keeps you because now it's your clients. Did you always feel that it was going to be like this? And I know the answer, but they don't, the listeners. There were times when you felt, I know, you question maybe clientele. Do you know where I'm going with that?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
could you
yeah.
touch on that a little bit?
Yes. Okay. So when I first was thinking, like, even possibly leaving, I was like, I don't have any clients. I don't have any connections. Like, what am I going to do? And on top of that, I was looking, like, a little bit looking at, like, just peers and just stories that I've heard where people have those connections where, someone can give them, throw them a bone, give them an opportunity, and that's kind of how they get started. And I was like, I don't have any of that. And there were times where I feel like I was on the verge of trying to make something happen like that, but then it failed. For whatever
Mm,
reason, it just didn't happen. And because of just situations like that, and at the time, I'd also like to point out that's when I was still, working at my job at the agency, and then dibble dabbling with the idea of leaving. So I
mhm,
was still occupied with something and then bummed out that an opportunity didn't work out for me to make a connection or for me to start trying to freelance. And hindsight, like 2020, it's like obviously my hands are full. Like if you don't make space for stuff to come through, it's not going to come. But all that to say, I was down. I was like, I don't like, where am I going to get these clients? Like I remember talking to you and I was like, Dr. Carla, like, I don't know anybody. Like if I jump, like I'm not going to have, like, I was just like scared. I'm really financially scared because I'm just like, well, shoot, like I need money to survive. So I can't quit. And I was just like, I don't have clients. I don't have XYZ. And then, and I stuck with that narrative for a while or for a little bit, and stuck with it for a while. And then, through some wisdom and advice, from you, was able to, just start, going back to like, what am I really good at? Like, how did I even get to California? Oh yeah.
Okay,
Manifesting.
Now they don't even know the story. I'm sorry.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't know about that story. But manifesting, yes. I was just like, duh, like manifest this shit, So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna start saying this stuff, and like it's so crazy. I was like, I'm gonna secure X amount of clients. I'm gonna make X amount of money, and it just like, gosh, it really just started happening. It just really started happening. And I even have like this Instagram that's like a private account, and it's like a fake Instagram, but I use it as like my dream board.
I love it.
And I would like do stuff, sometimes I would take pictures of brands and be like, a client, and that happened.
I'm sorry, I got it.
Yeah. Even one of my dream brands, actually, like that happened. I was like, oh my gosh, like I put you on my vision board, but it's like now I'm starting, like I'm always gonna be shook, but yeah. But yeah, just manifesting. So affirmations and really believing in it though, because you can't just say like I'm gonna do, like you really have to believe in it. I really believed in what I was saying because I'm like, I hear all these other stories, like it's gonna happen. I've done this before. I feel like I've, manifested crazier stuff than this, possibly. I don't know. So I was just like, let me really affirm what I want and let me see what happens. Just let me see. And even before I left, I already had clients already. Yeah. And it's like with that saying, it's already yours. It really is already yours. You just have to acknowledge it, claim it, believe in it, step into it, and it's yours.
I love how you make that sound so easy and simple. I love it.
I gotta listen to this when I'm feeling down and be like, oh yeah.
But it's the truth. And I think, for those of you who don't know, Danielle is also a client of mine, and to see sincerely the transformation from, and she was already kicking butt. It wasn't even about, that was the issue, but having the honor to work alongside her and work with her during this, to help you, I'll talk to you, to help you discover you and you in your strengths and your power and your capability. And once you knew that, it's like no stopping you with come on, it's only been almost 2 years being back in California. Not even close, right?
Maybe like a year and a half.
Year and a half. And in a year and a half's time, we went over this timeline. I think we've been working together for almost 3, but that you were in Ohio. You wanted to move to California to work with someone out this way. You felt that you needed to be over here in Southern California. You did it, You came to Southern California, you got a job that you wanted, you went for it, and then a year and a half later, you're doing your own thing. And to me, that's worthy of a lot of celebration because like I said, looking at your track record, you should be 40 years old. You're in your 20s and you're doing some great things. And to say and to get to that point where you really understand it's already yours, you just need to line up with it and not let fear stop you, not let second guessing your capabilities hinder you. Because once you took that leap, it's like the world just opened up to you. Do you
Yes.
do you feel that? Like now it's like,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like, and I think I saw like a quote, and it was um like, once you leap or take that leap, or like, whatever calling you feel, like once you go towards that, like the world will open up to you.
yeah.
And it's
It's
so
true.
true.
Yeah. It's like you think you're gonna fall, but you see you're flying.
Yeah, yeah, like I thought I was about to be hanging off a cliff. Honest, one of my biggest fears too was like, oh my gosh, like what if I can't work with you anymore because I'm so broke?
Yeah. Oh, you mean me as your coach?
Yeah, yeah. I was
Oh,
like,
you
I'm gonna
didn't
be
tell me that one.
so broke, I can't even work with Dr. Carla, and I'm gonna just now I'm really gonna be struggling at life because I can't even work like that. I don't think I ever told you that, but
You
that was
never
one of my
told
biggest
me
fears.
that.
That was one of my like on my top five. Like, yeah, that's like my second. That was my second one. First was like can't pay rent, and then it's like can't talk back.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm kind of honored, but yet, I don't know how to put that. But thank you. Thank you that I'm high up there, that, of just the value that our time together brings. But
Yes,
Danielle, I'm telling you, but look, you're going,
we're still working
and
together.
we're still working together. We meet every 2 weeks. We're doing this bad boy. We're doing this good
Yes,
boy.
yes.
So tell me this. I know that. Is there anything like when we talked about you being on the podcast? Was there anything that you like? I really would like to share this and talk about this. Is there anything pressing for you?
Oh yeah, I think if anything, just the importance of, and I, yeah, the importance of just how powerful like our words and our thoughts are, because I can talk about like my
Mm,
services or what I do all day long, but um but really it's, I think it's just going back to like this is something, this feeling that I have and this feeling that you have and other people that we know have, like it's accessible and
mhm.
it's obtainable to everyone, and it's our right
Yes.
to have, and it's so to keep our minds sharp, because right now especially this is the time where like, people are thriving or people are surviving. Like there are people who are launching
Mhm.
brands, like launching businesses, getting booked um and shows, like booked and busy, servicing left and right. Like people
Mhm.
are thriving, and then there are people who are just trying to get by to survive. And they say like the skills that you needed or you needed to survive are no will no longer serve you when it's time for you to thrive. Um, and
Mm.
I think that is
Wow.
so true, because when you're trying to just survive, you're hesitating, you're looking left and right, you're holding your breath, you are really just scrappy, just trying to like do whatever just to get by. You're really living on fear. And when you're
Yeah.
thriving, fear isn't even really in your mind. Like that's up
Mm.
towards the bottom. You're thinking of everything that can go right versus everything that could go wrong. And that's that
Mm.
mentality that you need when you're trying to thrive. And I think that is
That's it.
such a big takeaway during that I've learned. But I've been hearing this from so many people, specifically a dear friend of mine, Miguel.
I love. Oh, you got to tell that story though.
Yeah,
That is a good one. So
yes,
go ahead,
okay, yes.
Miguel.
A
Yes,
dear friend of mine, Miguel. So I manifested this
truly.
friendship, this meeting. So yes, so where do I start? Okay, just to give everyone background info, I guess. Yes,
Miguel. Yes, the performer, the
yes,
singer. It's not. It's the
yes,
Miguel.
sing
Okay,
it.
go
The
ahead.
Miguel, yes. Um,
Miguel.
yeah, so I guess where I'll start is I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio at the time, like just really feeling lonely, down, kind of depressed. And I decided to go see Miguel in concert because I've always liked his music, thought he was really chill. See him in concert, and I'm blown away. Like, he's so talented, of course. But what really was in his show, he was talking about just your mindset and vibrating high and getting on that good energy. And it was everything I needed to hear because I was feeling so alone, so sad. I didn't have a lot of friends out there. I think I was just starting to meet people, but I was alone. I lived alone. I lived in the suburbs. Like, I was one of the youngest employees at this job. So it was just very isolating and lonely, and he just really spoke to me. And I remember the people that I was there at the concert with, they were not getting it. They're like, this guy is crazy. Like, he's on that, whatever he's on. Like, and I was like, no, like, this is so true. And he was like, you got to stay up. Like, you listen to your inner voice. And I was just so captivated by it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I need to see him perform again. Like, this was so good. And, um, and that's when I really started to tap back into like spirituality, manifestation, and just understanding, like, just the divine purpose. And and I was like, I really want to like see him, and I really want to, I definitely, I would love to meet him. And essentially I felt like I manifested the fact that he decided on tour again. After he finished his tour, he went on another tour. And yeah,
For
for
you.
me. Mind
Yes.
you, by this time, I think I saw him like twice already, I think, in concert, because I had
Mm.
time on my hands. So I would like travel to DC and go to a concert, and that was one of the cool things. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so he goes back on it. So yeah, when he's done touring, he decides to go back on tour just for the hell of it. And I'm just like, yes. And then he's like, also, he offered a VIP special where you can meditate with him. It was like, oh my gosh, like, number one, I've never seen